Good afternoon. Since our chair is not here today, I think we have a quorum, so we'll go ahead and get started. My name is Ryan Cross, and I'll call the meeting to order. If you guys will take a look at the minutes from last meeting and let me know if there's any changes and if we can accept those.
Are they not popping up on your screen? I think we're working on it.
So I guess I'll take a motion. Have a first, second. All in favor? Aye. That carries. Items for consideration. I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. And now we'll see if that pops up. Oh, that popped up, but the presentation is not, right? Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, so our first project here is Wilshire Road from Sarah back west to Cemetery or Northwest 12th or 11th Street, depending Oklahoma City or Yukon. We own half of this road. Technically, it's inside the city limits. And the other half is inside of Yukon. South side, Yukon, north side, Oklahoma City. We're in the middle of annexing that as part of the process so we can maintain the entire road. And so this is a continuation of, we just did the first mile to the east of this just recently, which you approved. And that's completed, so we're just moving forward to doing the next 3 miles. So our request here today is, we have some of the budget amendment left from the first one, and so it's 2.8 million plus the 500,000 gives us 3.4-ish million requests out of unlisted funds. So, and we'll rebuild the road from base all the way up. So, yeah, it's.
What do we gain by annexing that portion?
So, the yellow line. Hypothetically, on the south side. So if you took that yellow line and you went to your left, that is Yukon, in Yukon city limits. In order for us to maintain the road and work on the road, we have to annex that portion of the road. So.
Would we save money by them putting in their portion for their portion of the road, or?
They don't have the money to fund the road at all. So
okay.
It'll be just, the only thing we can do differently is pave our half of the road.
Okay.
And that, yeah.
So I was just curious if we gained anything.
Trying to be good neighbors. So.
Yeah, I just didn't know if we gained anything by doing that, so, okay.
Well, this is just such a direct route from Highway 4 over to the Turnpike. This 4-mile stretch is just utilized and utilized over and over and over. It's picking up ADT and freight and what have you, so it's something we need to work on.
Does anybody else have any other questions? Take a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That carries. On to item B.
Now to some cost savings. So, we are putting in more and more left turn arrows versus just a solid yellow that you normally see, which is part of that. So we're putting more and more of those in according to FHWA standards. And we have applied for a grant with planning, and we received it. So the grant itself is $515,000 only for construction, which will do 21 intersections. And so our portion of that is we have to pay for the design cost, which would be a $27,000 request today for that. Cheat, we had an in. No, just kidding.
Any questions on this one?
Do we ever do a survey after we put these in to see what, perhaps accidents happen because we're putting in the new
So that data is readily available anytime we need it to. So the 911 calls, what have you, go into the ACOG system. The ACOG system shows the crash data, and we can go back and quantify that if needed. So
I just wondered if you did before we, they make decision to do these. So I think it's a great idea when there's no one coming. You put it in at Western and 104th, which is close to where I live, and so it's so nice. But I do know human nature is like, all of a sudden the flashing is jumping before the other person gets there,
it
versus,
gets
you know what it's intended is don't make you wait when there's no one coming versus the sneak in because it's got the flashing.
I know
But-
we're still putting in that first big round with ODOT that we moved forward with, and that was 18 locations that first time. And those are actively going in right now. And once those are in for a period of time, we can
But
definitely look
probably
at the data.
too new a concept to really get the data.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, as I've been used to it or getting used to it at Western, I liked it, so I recommend it.
Helps you can move through a little bit quicker.
With no other questions, we'll take a motion.
That was my motion.
Okay. A second? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That carries. On to item C.
Okay. Item C, this is over what we call the Research Parkway OU area-ish, and Harrison Avenue, Northwest 4th Street. Those pavers there, they're a tripping hazard. As it was pointed out to me, if you ever have to walk in high heels across that, you're going to fall. So I don't wear high heels, so I'm learning. So we're going to pull that back to right in front of that truck. You see that stop bar. We'll pull that back and put that back in stamped concrete, make it more accessible. This request is for $35,000 for that. So.
Any questions on this one? Take a motion.
Motion.
Have a motion and a second? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That carries. On to item D.
Last item for the day. This is Sooner Road from Southeast 44th to Southeast 89th. Believe it or not, there's 9 intersections in that area. So if you've ever drive it, we're trying to work on the timing to link all those intersections together as we go through them and to speed up that timing table there to allow easier passage through the east-west road. So or north-south, sorry. And with that, it's $10,000 an intersection, so it's $90,000 request today. The consultant will actually do the evaluation, do all the turn movements, what have you, so traffic data analysis in essence, and then they'll program the machines themselves at each location to talk with each other to reflect the timing change. So it's a turnkey.
How often do we do these kind of projects around the city?
We're getting more and more accustomed to them. This is the second one that I've brought to you since I've been in this position in 3 years. And the first one was, I think, 11 intersections. So as we see the need, Northwest Oklahoma City was the last one, and it's just growing so big, so quick. So needing to go back in there and analyze that is what we've been trying to do. So,
Okay.
Is there a master plan showing which ones you're going to do?
master plan?
Yeah, for these?
Not yet.
It's pretty close to Midwest City, isn't it? Or- What's for,
This is closer to
past South,
Tinker, right?
yes,
Yeah, this is Del City,
Del
Tinker.
City.
Yeah.
Any other questions? I'll take a motion. Have a motion and a second?
second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
That carries. So now we are on to
Done remarkable work. For the month of December, we increased the spend by $9.3 million. Fiscal year-to-date increased by $20 million. 12-month average expenditures increased by $829,000. The total expenditures for the rolling 12 months by $10 million. And as far as our 85% requirement, we are, for all practical purpose, on the next slide, for all practical purposes, we are at the 85% requirement for 2020 sale year. That increased by 2% over November. 2021 increased to 40%. That was a 5% increase in 2022 sale year. Increased by 4% up to 16%. And you can see that those numbers are well ahead of the comparable years that we had this time last year. If there's, I'll try to answer any questions if you have any.
What he's trying to say is, we hit our 85% goal.
Yay! And the next month, the report will be even better. There's some really good news.
Any follow-up questions?
What's the reason for the big increase?
These guys are working really hard. And, yeah, and they're moving money around and getting it where it needs to be. And a lot of projects are getting completed or started or encumbered.
Take a motion for this summary to accept. We have a motion. Do we have a second? A second? All in favor, say aye. Okay, that is accepted. Any new business from anybody? Are there any items from committee members? Any citizens to be heard? And last, I will take a motion for adjournment. We have a motion? A second? Yeah, we don't want to go back for it? No. Thank you, everybody.
Ready, break.